morning, I'd like to welcome to our pulpit Tim Hamlin, who is a lifelong New Yorker from St. Michael's.
That's right.
And we're glad to have you here to come and talk about a wonderful ministry and opportunity. So, please be seated.
Good morning. Before I begin, I just want to thank Canon Harris for inviting me today, and as well to thank Father Sandy for all of his logistical support. They've both been extremely generous with their time, and it is a great privilege to be standing in front of all of you this morning. I do not come with any dramatic gifts today. I have no notable skills which qualify me to stand here more than the next person. I am simply a young man, just a quarter of a century old, blessed with the opportunity to serve our church as an international missionary this fall. The hymn, "There is a Balm in Gilead," comes to mind, the second verse specifically. If you cannot preach like Peter, if you cannot pray like Paul, you can tell the love of Jesus and say he died for all. It is that last part that I am called this year to do. And this was a common refrain from the mission orientation I just returned from. This is a call we must all answer. To be a missionary is not simply to go to far-flung places, and it is certainly not bound up in any misconceived notions of conversion. To be a missionary is to share the love of God, the love of Jesus, with your brothers and sisters wherever you may find them. To be a missionary is to sacrifice a little of yourself, knowing that God, that love, never goes out without returning once more, firmer and greater than before. To be a missionary is to be a Christian. In fact, since 2006, our full corporate name has been the Domestic and Foreign Missionary Society of the Protestant Episcopal Church of the United States of America. A mouthful, admittedly, but a title worth noting. We are all missionaries now. Missionary work is not mystical, complex stuff. It is exemplified in every tale of Jesus' life and work. In preaching, certainly. In healing, definitely. And as the Gospeler shared with us a moment ago, in feeding and sharing community with those around us, particularly those most vulnerable. It is such a familiar story that is tempting to skip right over. Daydream or check our cell phones when it's read in church. Most Christians have heard it since before they were literate. That familiarity is worth examining further because it is not accidental. It is one of a handful of stories that appears in all four Gospels. In fact, there is a feeding of 4,000 as well in both Mark and Matthew, in addition to the familiar feeding of the 5,000. This speaks to the profound meaning early Christians found in the story and the importance placed on this specific moment of Jesus' ministry. Every church barbecue, every food pantry, every soup kitchen, every Eucharist is a reminder of the importance that sharing food, sharing community, holds in our life and work as followers of Jesus Christ. Because that is what it means to be a missionary, to live in community, to actively seek community with your neighbors both near and far. And I'm not simply referring to distance here. To be a missionary is to see the light of Christ in all persons, or at least try to. And most importantly, to be a missionary is to recognize that the work is not one-sided. Helping people and creating community are two very different things. I am proud to say that as a representative of the Young Adult Service Corps, the Episcopal Church's international mission arm for 20-somethings, I am part of a legacy of years and years of relationship building across the Anglican communion. There will be Yaskers, that's what we're called, in Hong Kong, Japan, the Philippines, Honduras, El Salvador, Costa Rica, Brazil, Italy, Haiti, England, France, Tanzania, and South Africa. There are 24 of us, all dispersed to spread the love of Jesus and deepen the ties within our communion. I personally will be spending the upcoming year in Grahamstown, South Africa, at Maria Umama Wetemba Monastery. I will be teaching at the school the monastery runs for disadvantaged children, mostly rural, from the surrounding area. A part of my responsibility for this upcoming year is to raise $10,000. This is only a portion of what it costs to send each missionary, but the significance of this support cannot be overstated. It is a reminder of what we, both those sent out and those sending, are committed to as Christians. It is a small way to continue and deepen our commitment to all members of the body of Christ. Any and all support that you guys are willing to give me is greatly appreciated, but just as important are your prayers and your blessings. I will be here in the coffee hour afterwards, and any questions you have, I would be happy to answer. And if you are interested in possibly supporting this mission, I have more information about that too. But thank you so much for allowing me to share my thoughts with you this morning, and God bless all of you. Amen.